Chapters 14 through 17 of First Chronicles, American Standard Version. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information and to find out how you can volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Recording by Sam Stinson. Chapter 14. And Hiram king of Tyre sent messengers to David, and cedar trees, and masons, and carpenters, to build him a house. And David perceived that Jehovah had established him king over Israel, for his kingdom was exalted on high, for his people Israel's sake. And David took more wives at Jerusalem, and David begat more sons and daughters. And these are the names of the children whom he had in Jerusalem: Shammua, and Shobab, Nathan, and Solomon, and Ibhar, and Elishua, and Elpelet, and Nogah, and Nepheg, and Japhia, and Elishama, and Be-li-ada, and Eliphelet. And when the Philistines heard that David was anointed king over all Israel, all the Philistines went up to seek David, and David heard of it, and went out against them. Now the Philistines had come and made a raid in the valley of Rephaim, and David inquired of God, saying, Shall I go up against the Philistines? And wilt thou deliver them into my hand? And Jehovah said unto him, Go up, for I will deliver them into thy hand. So they came up to Baal-perazim, and David smote them there. And David said, God hath broken mine enemies by my hand, like the breach of waters. Therefore they called the name of that place Baal-perazim. And they left their gods there, and David gave commandment, and they were burned with fire. And the Philistines yet again made a raid in the valley, and David inquired again of God. And God said unto him, Thou shalt not go up after them. Turn away from them, and come upon them over against the mulberry trees. And it shall be, when thou hearest the sound of marching in the tops of the mulberry trees, that then thou shalt go out to battle. For God is gone out before thee to smite the host of the Philistines. And David did as God commanded him, and they smote the host of the Philistines from Gibeon even to Gezer. And the fame of David went out into all lands, and Jehovah brought the fear of him upon all nations. End of chapter 14. Chapter 15. And David made him houses in the city of David, and he prepared a place for the ark of God, and pitched for it a tent. Then David said, None ought to carry the ark of God but the Levites. For them hath Jehovah chosen to carry the ark of God, and to minister unto him for ever. And David assembled all Israel at Jerusalem to bring up the ark of Jehovah unto its place, which he had prepared for it. And David gathered together the sons of Aaron and the Levites, of the sons of Kohath, Uriel the chief, and his brethren 120, of the sons of Merari, Asaiah the chief, and his brethren 220, of the sons of Gershom, Joel the chief, and his brethren 130, of the sons of Elizaphon, Shemaiah the chief, and his brethren 200, of the sons of Hebron, Eliel the chief, and his brethren 80, of the sons of Uzziel, Aminadab the chief, and his brethren 112. And David called for Zadok and Abiathar the priests, and for the Levites, for Uriel, Asaiah, and Joel, Shemaiah, and Eliel, and Aminadab, and said unto them, Ye are the heads of the fathers' houses of the Levites. Sanctify yourselves, both ye and your brethren, that ye may bring up the ark of Jehovah, the God of Israel, unto the place that I have prepared for it. For because ye bare it not at the first, Jehovah our God made a breach upon us, for that we sought him not according to the ordinance. So the priests and the Levites sanctified themselves to bring up the ark of Jehovah, the God of Israel. And the children of the Levites bare the ark of God upon their shoulders, with the staves thereon, as Moses commanded, according to the word of Jehovah. And David spake to the chief of the Levites, to appoint their brethren the singers, with instruments of music, psalteries, and harps, and cymbals, sounding aloud and lifting up the voice with joy. So the Levites appointed Heman, the son of Joel, and of his brethren Asaph, the son of Berechiah, and of the sons of Merari their brethren, Ethan the son of Cushaiah, and with them their brethren of the second degree, Zechariah, Ben, and Jaziel, and Shemiramoth, and Jahiel, and Uni, Eliab, and Benaiah, and Maaseiah, and Mattithiah, and Eliphelehu, and Micniah, and Obed-Edom, and Jael, the doorkeepers. So the singers, Heman, Asaph, and Ethan, were appointed with cymbals of brass to sound aloud. And Zechariah, and Aziel, and Shemiramoth, and Jehiel, and Uni, and Eliab, and Masa, and Benaiah, with psalteries set to Alamoth, and Mattithiah, and Eliphelehu, and Micniah, and Obed-Edom in Jael, and Azaziah with harps set to the Shemineth to lead. And Kenaniah, chief of the Levites, was over the song. He instructed about the song, because he was skillful. And Berechiah and Elkanah were doorkeepers for the ark. And Shebaniah, and Joshaphat, and Nethanel, and Amasai, and Zechariah, and Benaiah, and Eleazar, the priests, did blow the trumpets before the ark of God, and Obed-Edom and Jehiah were doorkeepers for the ark. So David and the elders of Israel, and the captains over thousands, went to bring up the ark of the covenant of Jehovah out of the house of Obed-Edom with joy. And it came to pass, when God helped the Levites that bare the ark of the covenant of Jehovah, that they sacrificed 7 bullocks and 7 rams. And David was clothed with a robe of fine linen, and all the Levites that bare the ark, and the singers, and Kenaniah the master of the song with the singers. And David had upon him an ephod of linen. Thus all Israel brought up the ark of the covenant of Jehovah with shouting, and with sound of the cornet, and with trumpets, and with cymbals, sounding aloud with psalteries and harps. And it came to pass, as the ark of the covenant of Jehovah came to the city of David, that Michal, the daughter of Saul, looked out at the window, and saw King David dancing and playing, and she despised him in her heart. End of chapter 15. Chapter 16. And they brought in the ark of God, and set it in the midst of the tent that David had pitched for it. And they offered burnt offerings and peace offerings before God. And when David had made an end of offering the burnt offering and the peace offerings, he blessed the people in the name of Jehovah. And he dealt to every one of Israel, both man and woman, to every one a loaf of bread, and a portion of flesh, and a cake of raisins. And he appointed certain of the Levites to minister before the ark of Jehovah, and to celebrate and to thank and praise Jehovah, the God of Israel. Asaph the chief, and second to him Zechariah, Jeiel, and Shemiramoth, and Jehiel, and Mattithiah, and Eliab, and Benaiah, and Obed-Edom, and Jeiel, with psalteries and with harps, and Asaph with cymbals, sounding aloud, and Benaiah and Jahaziel the priests with trumpets continually before the ark of the covenant of God. Then on that day did David first ordain to give thanks unto Jehovah, by the hand of Asaph and his brethren. O give thanks unto Jehovah, call upon his name, make known his doings among the peoples. Sing unto him, sing praises unto him, talk ye of all his marvellous works. Glory ye in his holy name. Let the heart of them rejoice that seek Jehovah. Seek ye Jehovah and his strength. Seek his face evermore. Remember his marvellous works that he hath done, his wonders and the judgments of his mouth. O ye seed of Israel his servant, ye children of Jacob his chosen ones. He is Jehovah our God. His judgments are in all the earth. Remember his covenant for ever, the word which he commanded to 1,000 generations, the covenant which he made with Abraham, and his oath unto Isaac, and confirmed the same unto Jacob for a statute, to Israel for an everlasting covenant, saying, Unto thee will I give the land of Canaan, the lot of your inheritance, when ye were but a few men in number, yea, very few, and sojourners in it. And they went about from nation to nation, and from one kingdom to another people. He suffered no man to do them wrong. Yea, he reproved kings for their sakes, saying, Touch not mine anointed ones, and do my prophets no harm. Sing unto Jehovah all the earth. Show forth his salvation from day to day. Declare his glory among the nations, his marvellous works among all the peoples. For great is Jehovah, and greatly to be praised. He also is to be feared above all gods. For all the gods of the peoples are idols, but Jehovah made the heavens. Honor and majesty are before him. Strength and gladness are in his place. Ascribe unto Jehovah, ye kindreds of the peoples. Ascribe unto Jehovah glory and strength. Ascribe unto Jehovah the glory due unto his name. Bring an offering and come before him. Worship Jehovah in holy array. Tremble before him, all the earth. The world also is established, that it cannot be moved. Let the heavens be glad, and let the earth rejoice, and let them say among the nations, Jehovah reigneth. Let the sea roar, and the fullness thereof. Let the field exult, and all that is therein. Then shall the trees of the wood sing for joy before Jehovah, for he cometh to judge the earth. O give thanks unto Jehovah, for he is good, for his loving kindness endureth for ever. And say ye, Save us, O God of our salvation, and gather us together, and deliver us from the nations, to give thanks unto thy holy name, and to triumph in thy praise. Blessed be Jehovah, the God of Israel, from everlasting even to everlasting. And all the people said, Amen, and praised Jehovah. So he left there, before the ark of the covenant of Jehovah, Asaph and his brethren, to minister before the ark continually, as every day's work required. And Obed-Edom with their brethren, 68. Obed-Edom also the son of Jeduthun, and Hosa to be doorkeepers, and Zadok the priest, and his brethren the priests, before the tabernacle of Jehovah in the high place that was at Gibeon, to offer burnt offerings unto Jehovah upon the altar of burnt offering, continually morning and evening, even according to all that is written in the law of Jehovah, which he commanded unto Israel. And with them Heman, and Jeduthun, and the rest that were chosen, who were mentioned by name, to give thanks to Jehovah, because his loving kindness endureth for ever. And with them Heman and Jeduthun, with trumpets and cymbals, for those that should sound aloud, and with instruments for the songs of God, and the sons of Jeduthun to be at the gate. And all the people departed, every man to his house, and David returned to bless his house. End of chapter 16. Chapter 17. And it came to pass, when David dwelt in his house, that David said to Nathan the prophet, Lo, I dwell in a house of cedar, but the ark of the covenant of Jehovah dwelleth under curtains. And Nathan said unto David, Do all that is in thy heart, for God is with thee. And it came to pass the same night, that the word of God came to Nathan, saying, Go and tell David my servant, Thus saith Jehovah, Thou shalt not build me a house to dwell in, for I have not dwelt in a house since the day that I brought up Israel unto this day, but have gone from tent to tent, and from one tabernacle to another. In all places wherein I have walked with all Israel, spake I a word with any of the judges of Israel, whom I commanded to be shepherd of my people, saying, Why have ye not built me a house of cedar? Now, therefore, thus shalt thou say unto my servant David, Thus saith Jehovah of hosts, I took thee from the sheepcote, from following the sheep, that thou shouldest be prince over my people Israel. And I have been with thee whithersoever thou hast gone, and have cut off all thine enemies from before thee. And I will make thee a name, like unto the name of the great ones that are in the earth. And I will appoint a place for my people Israel, and will plant them, that they may dwell in their own place, and be moved no more, neither shall the children of wickedness waste them any more, as at the first. And as from the day that I commanded judges to be over my people Israel, and I will subdue all thine enemies. Moreover, I tell thee that Jehovah will build thee a house. And it shall come to pass, when thy days are fulfilled, that thou must go to be with thy fathers, that I will set up thy seed after thee, who shall be of thy sons, and I will establish his kingdom. He shall build me a house, and I will establish his throne for ever. I will be his father, and he shall be my son. And I will not take my loving kindness away from him, as I took it from him that was before thee. But I will settle him in my house, and in my kingdom for ever, and his throne shall be established for ever. According to all these words, and according to all this vision, so did Nathan speak unto David. Then David the king went in and sat before Jehovah, and he said, Who am I, O Jehovah God? And what is my house, that thou hast brought me thus far? And this was a small thing in thine eyes, O God. But thou hast spoken of thy servant's house for a great while to come, and hast regarded me according to the estate of a man of high degree, O Jehovah God. What can David say yet more unto thee concerning the honour which is done to thy servant? For thou knowest thy servant. O Jehovah, for thy servant's sake, and according to thine own heart, hast thou wrought all this greatness, to make known all these great things. O Jehovah, there is none like thee, neither is there any God besides thee, according to all that we have heard with our ears. And what one nation in the earth is like thy people Israel, whom God went to redeem unto himself for a people, to make thee a name by great and terrible things, in driving out nations from before thy people, whom thou redeemest out of Egypt? For thy people Israel didst thou make thine own people for ever, and thou, Jehovah, becamest their God. And now, O Jehovah, let the word that thou hast spoken concerning thy servant, and concerning his house, be established for ever, and do as thou hast spoken. And let thy name be established and magnified for ever, saying, Jehovah of hosts is the God of Israel, even a God to Israel, and the house of David thy servant is established before thee. For thou, O my God, hast revealed to thy servant that thou wilt build him a house. Therefore hath thy servant found in his heart to pray before thee. And now, O Jehovah, thou art God, and hast promised this good thing unto thy servant. And now it hath pleased thee to bless the house of thy servant, that it may continue for ever before thee. For thou, O Jehovah, hast blessed, and it is blessed for ever. End of chapter 17.